Hi, John here. Today is 19 March 2015. I've just finished doing the invoices for the police, and there are 15,000 plus police and personnel and their administrators that get the bill for their part in the conspiracy to defraud the public of New Zealand. I'm taking it very seriously because this case is in Scotland Yard, as you can see. I'm tracking it down every step of the way, and to make them accountable for what they're covering up in fraud land transactions, and also working in with the police, the judges, the courts, and the lawyers in this particular case. Now, so far, they've said nothing. They haven't counterclaimed 3 affidavits into the police. Aaron Pascoe shifted him. Mike Clement shifted him. These are the police they've shifted off here. Now, they've got a new area district commander, Karen Malthus. So they'll just keep shifting the goalposts, but I'm going to go and see her. I want to call her in a minute now and go and take this bill up for the debt. Okay, it's getting bigger by the day. The longer those people stay on that land block, occupying it, when it's illegal, according to commercial levy contracts, in default contract, because there's a fraud in the title, and won't go through that. It's there with my private investigator, Graham Mallett, ex-Scotland Yard detective. He's been right over it. He's got it. And also with Sir Bernard Hogan Howe. He's the Commissioner of Police in the Metropolitan Police in London. And so he's the old Scotland Yard, but they still use the name Scotland Yard, and I'm still waiting for him. I'm rather amazed that he hasn't called me after 7 days of waiting. I've had 3 calls into his office and recorded with numbers against the calls. And I've sent all the documents here that you're seeing online on Facebook. That's admissible in the High Court of Admiralty in London. And I can do the court cases in 2 hours flat. Because whoever complains in this block of land that we're seizing, then that goes to the court there and transfer back here, and it's all over, because they won't have the titles. The British titles, okay? So there's a bill for Simon Brent Roundtree and James Pierce Brown that I'm going to drop up in a minute. Okay, I'll put this video on later on. I'll go up soon in a minute and take it up before the day's out. I'll be banking those notes tomorrow. The 2 notes, you'll see the value of it as levy debtors. That is the collateral of the fraud case that I'm proving that they are fraud and they're not saying anything. And so Scotland Yard may say nothing, but you, the public, can see there is something. In any case, they have not counterclaim my claim to that land block. So it doesn't worry me, because the bill goes up the same amount every day, 1 trillion a day, because of all the racket in it. We've got the New Zealand NZ Invest company with their 14 companies owned by the government contractors online. Okay, you can see them, and also Intuition New Zealand Limited Company, right? That one, owned by the Treasury. And you've got 14 police companies. 14 police companies in the debt, because they're sharing the spoils and the proceeds of crime. Okay, so I'm going to get an audit of where all that money's gone, because that's the King's Bench money, revenue. The King's Bench revenue. Okay, so I'm the King's Bench warrant holder, right, or Lord High Admiral, to have the high authority that I'm testing out the British police to see what they're going to do, how good they are. But already there's cracks in the police force there, with people starting to ask questions. They're probably saying, aren't you going to answer me, as this is where the money is, in the fraud. Okay, so he's going to have to answer sooner or later, because the longer it takes, the worse it gets. It'll get up to 17 days at $1 trillion a day. That's how much the Queen's properties are worth, 66 million acres worth of value. But that's only a figure that she put into the Supreme Court here to try and take this place out. So I'm countering her fraud and her crown against the King's crown and his monarch and his sovereign and his legal authority and admiralty, Mortgage Liens. Okay, so that's his and our contract. That's our contract to King William IV on that side, not his bloodline, but his commercial lien contracts and his admiralty jurisdiction, and our flag, I must say, and our flag from him in the lower house of Parliament in Westminster. That's why I'm going there, to take it into the upper house as the King of England. Okay, this flag is what they're using on the P&O ships, on the Shore Savills ships, and on the Ocean Monarch. They're using this flag on the Ocean Monarch. You have a look on the boat on the front, you'll see this flag there, and you'll see it on the mast. Okay, that is our title. That is our contract. That is our free passage through the world of trade and commerce. That is the King of Commerce, King of the Sea, King's Court, King's Royal Revenue. Okay, everything like that. And the Bank of England. Okay, because the Bank Acts of the Bank of England comes under this flag to take it around the world. Okay, and King William III put the Bank Act together from 1694 of William Paterson, founder of the Bank of England, and the pound note, and King William IV put this flag on and sent it around the world. Okay, in his contract, commercial contract liens. Okay, to mortgage everybody is this flag. It's not the Navy's flag. That's not a business commerce flag. This one is the only one in the world, and it belongs to us. And it's gold, and everything they carried around as prized possessions came from this flag. And the Moai statue, okay, that Queen Victoria picked up off East Island on the Topaz, HM Topaz, British military ship in 1865, sorry, 1865 or 1868, and carted it off to England. That's my title, my own Wanoa Tahitian title she stole. Okay, and that same year, 1868, America lost its sovereignty to Britain, to Queen Victoria, through this flag. Okay, and I'm telling you the real story, why I'm going to England, and why I'm putting these big notes against them, because the Ponzi money is 9 times over in the bank. They spin it 9 times. If it's 10 pounds, it's spun 10 times. £100 they make out of a £10 note, out of thin air. Okay? So that's what fiat money that we're coming up against. This is debtors' money, Levy, against all the fraud people using this flag. Okay? That's what I'm saying. This government here is using this flag's authority of our contract, and Te Ture Whenua 1993 Act is our contract to Westminster in the lower house, and this flag in the lower house. I'm taking this flag into the upper house of the King of England. Okay? The surrogate King of England, Lord High Admiral, and that's the end of that. Okay, so I'm going to ring up Karen Malthus now. and I'll just go up there anyway and take the bill. I have to talk to her.
Good afternoon, Auckland Central Police, speaking with Alex.
Alex, could I speak to Karen Malthus, please?
Karen Malthus?
Malthus, yeah.
How do you spell your
The last name is Malthus.
cool. One moment, please.
Thank you.
Would you know what to do if you observe someone behaving Join or establish a neighbourhood support group today. Visit www.neighbourhoodsupport.co.nz or call 0800 4NEIGHBOURS. That's 0800 463 444 for details. Through better communication and cooperation with your neighbours, you can make your community a safer and more enjoyable environment.
This is Karen. I can't take your call right now, but please leave a message and I will call you back. Alternatively, you may wish to send me a text if your matter is urgent, as I can receive those during your text. Thank you.
Yeah, hi, Karen. It's John Wanoa here. I would like to meet you today, if I can, or tomorrow. And my number is 027 281 3963. I didn't quite get your text number. And my land phone is 368 4842. And it's the case that I'm doing on Cook Street. That Aaron Pascoe, I think you're taking over from him as the criminal investigator. So a very serious case because it's sitting up in Scotland Yard now because no one's doing anything about it. So I want to see you because the bill is racking up. I've got an invoice all over it now. It's never been counterclaimed on a commercial contract. That I'm very familiar with that. That's my profession as a private prosecutor. I've been to your police station enough times and I cannot get any head or tail of anyone to assist me to arrest the property. And Tony Geldenhuis, he knows the case from right back to 2008, where he's done another case with me, and Philip Taylor, the CIB, and also Gary Davey, the CIB, or he's the inspector, detective, as a lawyer, ex-lawyer. So they know that this is a very serious case, that the whole world is looking at it now, and I need to talk to you very soon, in fact urgent, please. I'm going to drop a invoice into you and have a look at it, and I will email, when I get your email, all the details again, because it's gone to the police commissioner, it's gone to every other detective around the place, and it's been a lot of work over 6 years of investigations, Elliot investigations. He's an ex-detective, Scotland Yard, up over the shore. He's handling this case. Now, we need to get to the bottom of it because it's racking up every day. The bill goes up. So long as the owner, the registered landowner, is occupying the land from the 12th of March 2015, it's now 7 days that the bill is racked up with the police and the police establishment and everybody in it and the owners who have not refuted or counterclaimed my affidavits. That's 3 of them, and also Aaron Pascoe has failed to do that either. He has tampered with my private information and my contracts. That's why it's taking a long time. and interfered with it. But everybody's seeing that online now because it's there, the videos, everything. So there's no way anyone is going to get out of this one. Okay, so that's why I'm being very serious for you to put an end to it before it escalates right out. That's 7 days, I'm saying, that it's accumulating a debt levy that no one can get out of because I'm acting as the surrogate King of England. I'm going to England as the surrogate King William IV, Admiralty, the creator of mortgage liens, of land titles, and that's my family, Rogans, that put these titles together in Auckland. All the land titles here, Hawke's Bay and East Coast, okay? John Rogan and Dick Rogan is my family that's designed all of that. Okay, that's why I'm saying very serious matter. And I'm going to England as the Lord High Admiral. That's the highest you can ever go with the mortgages. That was Queen Victoria used his titles, and I've inherited his King of Commerce titles. Okay, bye. Anyway, the answer phone ran out, so I got something on there. So to you, Karen, Malthus, this video is for you, because I found it's better to speak to you on video. It's quite clear, and everybody's listening to what I say, and so far, no one has challenged the truth in everything I say. That land on 1/61 Cook Street is my chief's land. I want it back. Okay? The last thing I want to do is get in trouble with the police and your law, because I've got my own King's law. That's a little higher than what the law is here. And you must tell me who you're swearing your oath to. That's one. That's what I said to the judge if I had to go in those courts. Who you're swearing your oath to, and who do you get your authority from to do what you're doing with my land. I stopped the governor of the state of Victoria in Australia from using Queen Victoria on the 23rd of December last year. They were opening their parliament up, and they were going to use Queen Victoria as their monarch. I told them, don't do that, because the British can kill you. That's what it states. That's what it states in the manual of the Westminster Parliament, where I'm supposed to be, in the lower house, putting this flag. Karen, this flag here, the government in New Zealand is in trouble with me, because they're using our authority of King William for their jurisdiction to make money. This is a bank trading flag, Karen. This is a bank trading flag, and it is a free passage through the world flag. That the Union Jack flag has none of that. It's not a trading bank of commerce flag. This is the only one in the world with a king that put it all together and made the laws. The acts I use, 1830 to 1837, is very severe. It's for pirates and anybody who commits fraud. I'm telling you, Karen, you have fraud inside your department that I'm accusing and alleging is going on in there with those businesses, those New Zealand police businesses. I'm going to audit with Scotland Yard because your police is covering up the fraud inside the land titles, the banks, and also the lawyers doing the conveyancing on titles. Now, you can see the pound notes I've got online. You just go on my Facebook, if you're the first time to see it, because the whole world's looking, and type in John Wanoa, W-A-N-O-A, into Facebook, and there you will see the pound notes. One of them is a green one. That's 970 million, trillion pound note, all on its own. Now, that pound note is against all the governments in the world who are using the Queen as a head of state and church and state. Okay? The Vatican City corporate, Washington D.C. Vatican City corporate, owned by the popes, and Washington D.C. America, owned by the Queen. Those are private companies. And City of London, owned by the Rothschild Bank. Okay? Those are the three companies that note's for. And the 300 royal families and at least 2 billion people in the Catholic churches and all the churches who follow that culture. And the fraud inside the churches, as you can see, getting caught in Britain and Europe, where all that came from to here. So I'm auditing the HM Treasury and the Treasury here and the Intuition New Zealand Limited Company that changed its name, Karen, in 2012 from the New Zealand Business Round Table. Now, why do they change their names and change their jobs and not stay in the same place like me, like a Moai statue? He stands in one place and he never moves. And someone will have to kill me before my job gets taken. Okay? That's the only way you can do it, not elect some other idiot who comes in like Aaron Pascoe, Detective Senior Sergeant, Criminal Investigator Aaron Pascoe. I'm citing him, Karen, listen to me, you're a criminal investigator and you're a detective inspector. Now, your man cited, I'm citing him for saying, when he was asked in the court, who put those documents together, the 165 documents? Did the police send them? His answer was, no, it was me. You see, that's how incompetent your people are in your department here in front of me on my land, my patent land, Karen, that you're playing around on, that accuse the police, all of them, caught up in the racket of the courts. That's why I don't need to go to court, because I'm using the courts in London. It's on my Facebook. The High Court of Admiralty in London, I've got a right to sit on the other side with the judge, as the King's Bench judge. Okay? That's why I'm talking like this. Because I do 2-hour cases, it's finished. You're either right or you're wrong. And if you try and refute anything I say, the pound note gets written against you for whatever I say. And Scotland Yard will go and salvage and recover it, no matter what. And the rest of the balance goes against that green note, against your corporate companies and private companies. I see the police have got private companies as well. Police private prosecutors are doing my job, Karen. If they get 1 foot wrong in a case, while I'm there in the court, they're in trouble. They're in trouble. Right? Because with the King's Law, if you get a foot wrong, you lose everything. You will lose everything. That's what's happening here. That's what's happening here, because your police commissioner, Peter Marshall, took off. They all take off when the going gets tough against me. Right? He allowed Aaron Pascoe to run willy-nilly in Tuhoi and create a ruckus to my people and put the kids' faces in the ground. Now, I won't stand for any of that, and neither will my people anymore on our land that you're only occupying because you don't have clear title and absolute title. I'm holding that here. I'm holding that title here. I still want to see how long it takes for your police to assist me to get my land back. That block of land. Okay, because it's fraud, littered with fraud in it. I've got everything here in 6 years I've accumulated and learnt how you do it. How the banks work. Okay, Karen, I've got my own notes of King William. I'm allowed to print them and mint the money because it's our contract with him. Not his bloodline, his commercial contract. Okay, that's ours. Anybody playing around with this flag, Karen? This government here? They're in trouble with me. So, I'm going to England late because I want to fix this land block, and it's no different to any other land in the world because I'm going to seize Devonport in England and come back and seize this land, Devonport over here. All those ignorant people who won't put their flag up on the council building. You see, they got here on this flag, Karen. You all got here on this flag of King William, the 1835 Declaration of Independence and Constitution and Sovereignty. Okay? So I'm taking over this flag in England and stick it up to save Britain. Because the Queen, your Queen, is wrecking Westminster to bits, and she's cleaned out HM Treasury, Karen, and cleaned our trust out, right? It's Queen Victoria's trust with the gold. All that gold, over 1 million tons. Over 1 million tons of gold, we'll find it. I'll just write the note to it. Okay. Just write the note to anything of value. That's where our note is, not something in thin air like the banks, the Ponzi schemes, fiat money. Okay, the fiat money. We can put the note up against it. The bank has got the notes, Karen. I'm going to give you an invoice in front of the whole world. They know what I'm doing at the bank. I'm going to give you an invoice. I'll bring it down shortly, and I'll bank it, the note, to that value. Okay? The same with those landowners. I'll bank it. And the next 7 days will be the same again. I'll bank it again. And it's tough, because you're stuck to me in debt. Okay? That's how these debt instruments work. The Queen and you people have been using that debt instrument. Belongs to me. The contract belongs to me and my chiefs. Rent chiefs, okay? That's how it works. You're only ground rent people, and only they're occupying the land for the moment. And if I find a crooked title like this one, I have a legal right, if you know law, like I do, to seize it back. Because my Judge Rogans makes me a judge, and the Cosgroves makes me a lawyer. And the Rogans is English, makes me a land surveyor. You see, I know all about it. Because no one's going to question me about that. You only got your law that keeps me off my land. Because of your instruments that are faulty and fraud. Okay? I'm saying these things so you know I'm serious, dead serious, when it comes to commercial lien contracts, commercial levy contracts. They are lethal. They are lethal on backfire on anybody who comes up against me as a judge. Okay, I'm a judge, Karen. If anybody complains and I had to go to court, your court, I'm still in my court, I go to your court and stand on the other side of the bar, then ask the same questions. Who are you swearing oath to? Right? I stopped the governor in Australia, so he swears to his law, whether it's good or bad. You see? I've got the king that goes right above that. I said, well, where did you get there from? Whose authority did you get to Australia? From Devonport in England. Right? And that's the end of it. That is the end of it. The people are holding up my ship of Admiralty. Karen, you and your police, see, you're there now. Next minute, you'll be gone. I'm going to write an affidavit to you. You're going to have to answer. Because you're already levy debted anyway. I'm just going to do a double take on you. Because Aaron Pascoe's out of my road. You're the next one in line, the firing line of the King of England. Okay? They know of in England, I'm going there as my party is over there. The King William, the Moai King William Party is a political party, Karen. Okay? I'm going there to run a parliament. I'll show them how to do it. And this one here is off the rails. It's because they don't have any title or any nous of who they are. And temporary, 3-year temporary, and electing someone else that's worse. Like Judith Collins. She got a big bill on her head and her husband with the milk scam. Or Avita. Okay? And her and her fraud. I know. And Tolly, the police minister. Both of them police ministers. Look what happened. They're all the same. They're all the same. They follow the pattern of culture of fraud and corruption inside your system. That's what we're doing here. That's what we're doing. Expose exposing the whole thing. If you can't do that job, then somebody else is going to do it, right? Somebody else. If the military, I'm going to get the military to bring them here to clean everybody up. Public statement. I've had enough. I've been over 6 years. Your police has held me up on my land. Okay? There's nothing you can do about it. You cannot do anything about it or take it to court because you'll lose. The whole lot of you will lose. And the other thing that's wrong with Aaron Pascoe, right? He called people terrorists. And what did he say? They asked him, what makes you think I'm a terrorist, this woman? And he says, read my affidavit. Now, Karen, I'm telling you to read my invoice. And it's an affidavit. Everything I got online is statements in front of the whole world, witnessing. Okay? And that's all I have to say today, because I'm really getting late to get into campaign mode in England with my party. Okay? I'm going over there to drive the whole lot in behind this debtor's instrument so they can grab it, all those people, and grab it because it belongs to them. We're taking everything back here, Karen, that belongs to us. Okay? In a nice way. A nice way. We'll play the debt game and show you how to do it. Okay? How to be a fraudster. How to make a perfect fraud. And how to make a perfected title. Okay? At the moment, it's a bad title that I'm trying to tell everybody, and they're all quiet as mouse. When you're quiet, Karen, when you say nothing, when you don't respond, and when you had plenty of time, 6 years to respond, you lose. Okay? And it's hooked everyone into Doug Rickard Bell's fraud. Okay? It's gone through a chain of events, and he's linked in accessory to the Queen. And that title's Queen's head on it. Everything, it's got the Queen's head on it. Even my QC lawyer, he signed the documents, right, into the High Court of Admiralty in London. He signed it to arrest John Key. He's going to lose everything. I haven't got around to it yet because I'm doing the whole lot myself. Okay? And your job. I'm doing that job too, policing the public to see who's doing the fraud the best. Okay? So that's all I want to say today with the this invoice. It's 1:55 p.m. now, so I'm going to go and print it and bring it up to you, put it over the counter, and I want an appointment with you tomorrow. And you're going to ring me up and see how long it takes for you to respond, because Tony Geldenhuis never now. He can't do much. He can't do much for me, and neither can the police prosecutors at the back. I've been at the back, and they can't do anything because they say they're different to you. So what's going on in the back there? They've got a private business, that's what I know. And if you have a look at my site, you have a look at that invoice, it's got all the companies. They're NZ Invest, that's raking in the money. I know where the money's going, because I'm pretty good as a broker to find everything and investigate. I'm bringing Scotland Yard here to investigate all of your businesses, all of your private business, to where that money's going from the public into your coffers, okay, in the courts. The judges are not going to stand me being around them, okay, because they'll run out the back, and they can't handle this king stuff, okay, even though they've got their own laws. I've been teaching myself, Karen, the law, okay, after I got ripped off 16.8 million pounds by a lawyer and a banker from Lloyd's Bank over LinkedIn. I don't trust LinkedIn. Anybody that goes to LinkedIn are fraud people. Their names are stuck there, hiding in there. That's your lot. That's your lot. Okay? The Crown Corporation. Okay? It's coming to an end. Right? With Putin over there now. Got the Bank of England and the pound note. See? You know, that's the sort of might I'm facing on my own, Karen. I don't need a whole bunch of police around me. I can take it in the truth. It's my word against your word. in affidavit. If you can't refute it, you lose. That's what I'm saying. I can't find anybody that can refute it, because it's going to be severe if someone tries to refute it. Because I got the Hanging in Chains Act, 1834, Karen. I can hang anybody with this flag. You don't know that one. That's my law. That's my law. If you break my law, you get billed on my land. See? I can say my land because I've got the titles for it. My chiefs let me do this job. They died, Karen. The Manukau man left me with Auckland because he's married into the Rogan family of judges. They left me everything here of his title to Britain. Okay, that's why you're mucking around with my Manukau land, Kawharu land, not this Kawharu in Ngāti Whātua Ōrākei. They're going to lose a lot of things, Karen, because your corporation and Crown put them there. They are not the right owners. I've been fighting them for a long time. Tiwana Temple, Grant Hawke, and Narumu Blair. You see the surnames, Karen? That's supposed to be the chiefs. They're not chiefs, they're mischiefs. They're your people with the surnames. They're not the old Manukau name. The Manukau's got title to this, Auckland, because the British signed it with them in Manukau Land Company in Glasgow. You see, I'm holding on to the 339 deed title from Britain, and John Rogan came from Australia, and then the next John Rogan, the judge, made the titles, confiscated all your Lynn's titles, okay? Confiscated all your Lynn's titles, and then gave them back. And what did they do? Screwed them, and put your own ones on so you can play the game of fraud. I'm right, Karen. I'm right, because you're not going to say anything about it. All you're doing is your job. So I want you to assist me as the criminal investigator. You know it's a fraud, and just let me go on that land and seize it. That's as easy as it's going to get, and the bill will stop. But the bill is going to keep going, because I'm telling everybody, I have a perfect legal right in commercial levy contract law, because I'm a corporate company as well as a private company, to bill you as from one company to the other. Okay? And politics, I know them back to front. And better ideas to make an economy go when I get around to it. Okay, I'm going up to Scotland to put the big turbines in the water and make fuel for rocket fuel. Okay? That's just another angle. In the meantime, it's just my land you're playing with that I want to sort out. And the Scotland Yard, I'm waiting for them to come here. I've asked them to come and assist me onto the block of land. Right? Because why? It's because James Brown, the registered landowner, said to me, don't go on the land without a policeman. You see, I just need to get a policeman. You give me a policeman, it's all over. He gets his money back from his lawyer, because the lawyer's at fault. Okay, I'm telling you a true story. Everything I say out of my mouth is true. The lawyers, the conveyancing lawyers, are fraud. They made the title fraud. And the land information, Don Grant, right? That guy came from Australia. Doug Rickard Bell bought him from Australia, and he was out of he's retired. Bought him out, the old guy, then gave him a job in Lynn's, right? With the government, to run Lynn's and crooked this title. And cut and paste the old Sutherland surveyor from way back, 1800s, and stuck it on the road title, then dumped everybody in there with 300 million investments gone into there and discharged. That's the crooked bit with that block, Karen. That's my business, not yours. You're not going to make money out of it in your court and your government. No, me and the King of England and the people who are the beneficiaries of this estate. Okay? Now, you made enough money out of that, I'm getting it back. You're getting it back because of the way you have conducted your business in the courts and people not representing the people. That's what I'm saying. You're not in the interest of the people, but your own private business. And the police is 14 companies. You see, 14 companies. I like to see what money is going in there, where it's coming from. The people who are the hapless people getting thrown into court and into jail. Okay? I've got a bone to pick with that. I've got a bone to pick with everything in fraud. I've got a good crew who can do that. I've got some palms too that are pretty good at fraud. Okay? Investigations. We're the best because we're in the public. We're amongst the public. And we've got a better handle on feeling around in amongst the people. Right? They watch us on social networks. Okay? They watch us. They begin to trust us more than the police. Karen? That's what the image is of Scotland Yard and the police in England, Metropolitan Police. They got a bad image. And same here. Got a bad image with these guys. You put that guy Aaron Pascoe there and see what he done. He's cost millions, Karen. He's cost us taxpayers and the public interest millions for what he did to Tuhoi. And he had no jurisdiction to put a cordon around the place. In the first place, federal state law, you can't do that. And we have, the federal law isn't here, Karen. The federal law, state, comes from this. It doesn't come from anybody else. It comes from a king, not a queen. She's nothing. She's gone now. She's gone and abandoned people and gone against them for her own wealth and greed. Okay? So it's going to cost her. I'm going to fill that spot of hers in England as the head trustee. Her, Prince Andrew, the King and Queen of Spain, all crooks with all the gold belong to us. Okay, Karen? I've got my finger on it, but that pound note covers everything. Okay, it doesn't matter about bricks or any other money. It doesn't matter because this is the one that made the money. This is the one that got you on the land. This is the one that built the cities. From that time, King George III in America, and in India and Africa, King George III, that started off the Admiralty, and then King William put the flag on and put the mortgages onto the land. And then when the Queen got hold of it, it's all for what she touches and what you've made money out of, and the Australian government made money from the Queen, and now they don't want her. You see what I mean? Ungrateful people. Here, how you got here, you don't want to know. But I'm going to tell you. It comes back, goes around, comes back. Okay? And whatever fraud there is, we're going to do it this way, because this is the King's law, from the King's bench. Raw revenue. Salvage. Right? Thank you very much. That'll do. I better get going and take this up to you and those boys. And we'll see you later. And don't forget, ring me. I'll start my watch going and see how long it takes you to respond, because I need to have a serious talk with you, Karen Malthus. And let's get this land sorted, and let's clear them off it so that I can have it back, because I got big plans for it. Okay? I got big plans for it. And the bank wants to buy the pound note. Okay? $1 trillion at a time. Right? We've already been through that. I'm a broker, Karen. I'm a bank broker, real estate agent. Okay? I know what I'm doing. And in politics, I know what to pick. Right? I've had enough time to do it. And all this time I'm sitting here, I'm going to get my feet going and get going. Right? Thank you. Bye. Don't forget. Help me to get that land back. Okay? That's all I ask. And your bill will stop. Right then. At the moment, it's £1 trillion a day. Okay? There's nothing you can do about it. It's £1 trillion a day plus 20% tax. British tax. I'm going under the British law and the British government. Okay? Dual government with Moai and the King. Okay? So our law is the British old title that you made your Lynn's title from. Okay? So we're going to take that out and put it back where it was. With no value. Okay? That's what I'm doing here. I'm going to take the value out and no more mortgages on that land block and any other land block we seize.